Hey guys, welcome back with another video with Lindsay. How are you all doing today? Hope you're having a lovely day. And welcome back to another video, unit analysis of Troy, faction analysis to a certain extent. And today we're doing the last one that's still available, well, that's available for now, because I know they're adding the Amazon soon, so we'll be doing that for the Amazon as well. If you wanted to do it for other Total War games, let me know. But yeah, let's get started. I was going to say Menelaus now. Agamemnon, his brother. Menelaus is his brother. Who is this guy? Well, he's the king of all the Mycenaeans, the Greeks, and he has a bone to pick with Troy. He wants to burn it down. Now, what does his army? Jesus. Okay, what does his army do? Well, his army is quite interesting mix. He has quite a lot of heavy infantry and really expensive charging units, which we'll go into. His missiles are okay. He does get the bows of Mycenae, which are a decent bow. We'll look into them soon. And good chariots, reinforced chariots, very strong. Spartoi, interesting unit, and of course a Minotaur. Okay, let's get started with his armor. So his armor is 75 missile block chance, quite a big shield. His 60 armor, and he also got 75 base morale. Decent speed considering how heavily armored he is. Melee attack and melee defense are up there. He does do a lot of armor piercing. You can see 150 armor piercing every 10 seconds. And he has a little bit of a bonus for heroes. Charge bonus of 4 to 5. Quite generic when it comes to lords. He does do a decent amount of damage against heroes. And he seems to be one of those that will do good overall. He fights with a club, so he's going to be quite a bit of a fighter. What are his abilities? So he gets Leader of Men, so he has a Rages around himself, which gives melee attack, melee defense bonus. That can be triggered for 40 seconds. That's really intense, because 10% melee attack and melee defense is quite big. Blood Sacrifice, morale and damage. He increases Rage, provides Rage, and basically just does more morale and weapon damage personally. It seems, no, it actually affects allies in range. 60% more weapon damage for 60 seconds. That's quite big. 40 seconds cooldown, but I believe this one would require quite a lot of rage to be used, so will be controlled in that manner. Rallying cry, quite simple and self-explanatory. Reinvigorate, basically it's like second wind in Rome, gets back stamina. Asteria, the same one as with every hero, and then he's immune psychology. He hides in the forest, and he sees a siege attacker. Quite generic, which is what I feel from his faction in general. It's quite generic when it comes to battles compared to the others. It doesn't really specify in anything, but doesn't mean it's bad. So the first unit, we see the militia. We've seen these over and over again. Club militia, ex-militia. No, they're clubs. Club and shield militia. Low armor, low morale, low damage overall. These are trash units. These are your plebs. These are the units that we'll use to soak up ammunition. Nothing to really talk about. Same with the young spears. They're okay as a unit considering how cheap they are compared with others. For example, the Agamemnon companions are 1,400 gold. These are 350, so you can get quite a bit with them. They're good for what they are. They're not necessarily good units, but they're good for what they are. So they're fast, they have 48 speed, and they have, a small amount of charge bonus. I would prefer young spears over the club militia, simply for their charge bonus. And these guys have bonus versus X-Men swordsmen and such. And then you have the spearmen, which I believe is the staple unit for the Greeks. They all have these spearmen. They're slightly shielded. They do get 40 missile block chance. They have a decent 55 base morale. Their speed is 37. Their attack and defense is melee defense are quite basic as well. No charge bonus. This is your frontline unit. This is your they're just gonna hold for a while. They're quite cheap as well, so you're going to do well with them. And something to complement them is the light swordsmen. These guys have 48 movement speed compared to the 37, so these guys will be a little bit of the flanking maneuverability that you'll need to do the damage. I like their 45 armor, and they still have 40 missile block chance. They have 8 charge bonus, but that's not really the important thing. With 48 movement speed, you can get them into the heavy missile units, and they get to hack and slash at them. So they can be a good unit in that regard. but they're not going to really last long in any sort of fight, so you need to be microwing them quite heavily. The shielded clubmen are what you need for a good front line. Mix these in with the spears and you're going to have a really good time. These guys have 65 armor, they have 60 missile block chance from the front. They're quite fast considering how heavily armored they are. 37 speed, their morale is quite high, so they're going to hold their own, and they do quite a bit of damage. We're talking about 100 damage, 32 melee attack. Quite good, decent weapons, weapon strength, etc. Then there are shielded spearmen over here. They have the ability to put their shields on their backs, and they are going to change their stats. So they're going to increase their speed, their morale, and etc. So let's look. We go down this way until they set up their 36 movement speed, and they have 90 damage, 5 charge bonus. They have 60% missile block chance and 50 armor, right? If you do this, you remove the block chance, you do increase this morale slightly, and you do increase the movement speed quite a bit. Their melee attack goes up, their melee defense obviously goes down, and they get 27 charge bonus. So quite a versatile unit. These two together will be the center of your army. Yeah, I imagine you're gonna get 4 of these, 2 and 2, or whatever combination you want. Combine them with a few of these cheaper units, and hope that these guys will do the job. And then to support them, you will get club warriors, which are just club infantry. They're light infantry. They are 48 movement speed. They have little to no armor. Their morale is quite high because they are something that you'll use to charge into the enemy. They're experts at flanking. In fact, they do get Pilas, which is really good. It elevates them slightly above the rest, but they're a bit too expensive for what you get from them. Their missile range and missile damage is okay. They're a situation unit at best. I think the best thing they have is their speed, and their melee defense and melee attack is quite good considering their tier. Then this is where you go into the armored spears. The armored spears and the armored swordsmen, okay, they're very good units, but you will not be able to get that many of them at all if you're gonna go with some chariots, with a minotaur, or with an upgraded lord on a chariot, because these guys are really expensive. I think they're around 900 gold. I need to check that out. I think they're around 900 gold and each, more or less, and they're going to be quite difficult to move around. Their speed is 28 and 35, so quite slow. They do get 95 armor, 75 missile block chance, and this guy's got both of them get 75 missile block chance. Really high morale, base 80 and base 80, yes, absolutely. Melee attack is quite high, 46, melee defense is 50, damage is quite high. And you can always put them this way, and they get a little bit more movement speed and 37 charge bonus. So their shields function in the same manner as the Trojan shields as well. But this is a frontline thing that you want to use. They're really resistant to flanking, so they're quite a good unit to just throw in and get surrounded, and then use your missiles to kill anything that's attacking it in the rear, blobbing up about it. But in campaign, it's going to be really good fun to hire these and build massive armies with them. In multiplayer battles, I do not see them to be that favorites. But again, they're good units. They do a lot of damage, and they have excellent armor. Is an understatement. 95 armor. Now we're looking into the elite units of the elites. Armor chargers. These are 200 spears. They have the same 95 armor. They're quite slow. 32 charge bonus. They're not really that good. If I was to compare these with the armored spearmen, I would prefer the armored spearmen almost over these guys. They do get a little less in everything, but they get more damage. And if you put the armored spears with their thing, they're gonna just get more value for money than these armor chargers, who are, I'm not sure exactly what their role would be. Then you get Agamemnon's guards. These guys are elites. They're quite expensive. I think 1380 gold. They got good charge, 100 armor, 85 morale. They're heavy flanking, charging skills. They heal when outside of combat, so that's quite interesting. I actually should be looking at that. Alright. Armor chargers? Interesting. Okay, so these guys heal outside of combat. That is interesting. Perhaps that is what's different with... Do these all heal outside of combat? Okay, it seems the elite units heal outside combat. That's something I was missing. That is insane. Okay, that changed everything. That really changed. These guys are nuts. If they heal, you charge them in, you pull them out, you let them heal, you bring them back in. Imagine the unit models won't go back up, but that healing... How much healing do they get? They get 6,000 points of healing, which is pretty much almost their entire health. So they get twice the health bar. That's going to be quite interesting. So these are charging units. Damn, that is strong. That is very strong. Alright, we'll move on to Agamemnon's companions. These are, yeah, they also have healing as well. They're immune to psychology, flanking speed, excellent charge is an understatement, to 30, 42 and 45 speed. They're 1400 gold. I would prefer these over... Yeah, I would prefer the Agamemnon's companions compared to the Agamemnon's guard, who have the spears. They're armor piercing, and these guys have bonus versus large. So they both have their abilities and units there. But yeah, these 4 units, they all get battlefield healing. That is strong. That is very strong. So I guess that I'm lost for words, because I was asking myself, like, what is the special thing that Agamemnon has? And apparently the special thing is that his units bloody regenerate. They're vampires or something. Alright, let's get to the Achaean Slingers. Achaean Slingers, we've spoken about them. Basic units, same with Skirmishers, quite basic. Renowned Slingers, this is quite average. It's not a bow... it's not a bow faction, so missile faction, so missiles are quite meh. The light javelin men are quite decent compared with the... So if you compare them with the basic javelin men, they get more morale, more armor. They are same speed, but then they have a little bit more range. And they have the same ammunition, it seems. No, they have a little bit more ammunition as well. 18 ammunition. Their charge bonuses, however, smaller. These guys have 6. No, they even charge bonuses better. So these are just better in every way. And skirmishing, they do fire while... no, they get Vanguard deployment and they get stock. So these perhaps would be preferred over the basic skirmishers over here, which are, you know, quite weak in general. And then under bows of Mycenae, these are longbowmen from the length of the bow. They have good armor piercing damage. They have 170 range, which is, I think, the highest... Yeah, second highest range in this army composition. 34 armor piercing missiles, and they have decent melee stats as well. Quite expensive bows, but getting 2 of them will really be useful in dealing with, especially sieges, because they have more accuracy than slingers in general. Then we have the chariots, basic chariots over here, 45 armor and 50 base morale, good charge bonus, sent for movement speed. We've discussed this before. Really good unit, really strong unit. But then there is the upgraded version, which is a more armor, slightly less movement speed, with 65 speed, but then much more charge bonus and a little bit more damage. I would personally just go for the normal chariots and just run around with them with good micro, but I understand why doing forced chariots would be good, especially if you mass them. I have 4 or 5 of them. You'd be running through as many units as you want. Now, the special units for Sparta, sorry, they're Spartoi, but they're not for Sparta only, they're also for Mycenae. These guys are a heavy class, they're chargers, they're unbreakable, and they go on rampage. They're really strong. They do not regenerate, interesting, and the rampage can work against you. They only have 40 armor, which is quite strange, and their unit size is half of the average unit size. Their morale is quite high, their damage is quite high, they do good bonus versus large, and they have 46 melee defense. They are unbreakable, which is most of their ability, and they're quite strong in that regard. So really strong unit over there. And the last unit is the Minotaur. The Minotaur gets Savage Roar, which is the affects morale, and Bull Rush. So basically when you trigger this, he will not be able to attack, but he can basically move through any formation and just do a lot of damage. He's a siege attacker as well. He causes fear. He hides in the he can hide in the forest, nice. And Savage Roar, we've discussed that. 40 armor, 19 base morale, considering he has only 40 armor. Melee defense is quite low, but melee attack is quite high. He'll pretty much kill anything on impact. He's really strong, but he'll easily get targeted by missiles, especially since his unit size is slightly larger. His speed, also 50, is not the fastest and not the best. He does make the ground tremble. Like, as you can see, he's just slightly larger than the normal average unit, but that makes him easier to target to missile fire. So really good unit. I'm really impressed with the regeneration of these units over here. These guards and armored swords, getting regeneration is perhaps a bit too broken. That's something that, if CA sees this video, should consider removing. Regeneration is a bit too much, even by my standards. And but then again, they don't really have an option with regards to this army, because it is quite limited in its scope. It's quite generic units, and you need some of these elite units to have something special to be able to deal with the situations that arise, especially since the missile capabilities of this faction are quite limited in their own stead. And with that, guys, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Subscribe to the channel if you're still watching. We're trying to reach 600 subscribers. And yeah, tell me what you want to see. Leave me a comment down below. And with that, have a lovely day. Hope you're all well. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.